Hey there, it's Lauren, owner of Imagined Awakenings, and I am ready to get creative with some resin. So, as always, please remember safety first. Always use your safety gear when working with epoxy resin, and please work in a well ventilated area. So, this time I got a couple little projects happening here. I have this like chameleon type iridescent pigment powder that I'm going to be working with. So in this one, this is a dragon mold. It's small but kind of deep. So I just took, like I usually do with mica powder when I kind of brush the mold with that. Instead, I'm going to do it with this pigment powder. And I've used it before in other projects, and I've just found that it works really well with molds that have a lot of detail. And to me, this is my personal opinion, it kind of looks just better when you brush it into the mold versus pouring it directly in the resin, though that can look pretty cool too. So anyway, here is just me taking the 3 million, hours that it took to get the mold brushed. I wanted to make sure every part was covered. I didn't want to leave anything out. So that's that. And then I have a couple other pieces over here. Use the puzzle piece molds I usually use for necklaces, but this was the first time testing out to see if they would work as earrings, so we're going to try that out in this video. And then the other round molds, those are going to be the base for the mermaid tails that I've worked on. I worked on those in the last video. Now I'm going to work on the base in this video, and we're going to see how it goes. Alrighty, so pouring in my 2 parts. Usually I warm them up first. I'm not sure if I warmed them up this time or not. But I pour in part B before I pour in part A. That was a suggestion from the manufacturer. For whatever reason, pouring in the thicker part into the looser part while they're slightly warmed up just makes it easier to combine, and usually has less bubbles. I look like I'm stirring really fast here, but I'm not. I've just sped it up. Anyway, so I stir, and then I scrape the sides, and then I scrape the bottom, and then I stir some more. And I do that for about 6 minutes. I usually put a timer on, like the microwave, or not my phone, because I'm usually recording with my phone. It's usually the microwave. I put a timer on. And then somewhere around that 6-minute mark is where the resin is starting to clear up, and it's pretty much ready to pour. So I believe I worked with alcohols on this. Alcohol ink. Alcohol, really? Like, stop that. I'm not an alcoholic. Anyway, I believe I worked with alcohol ink on this one. So I'm just gonna, and I did the technique that I've been doing the past couple of videos. So I'll talk about that more as we go. Alright, so here I'm actually stirring up like a brownish, what is wrong with my mouth today? Translucent colorant. And I've found that typically the darker colored pigment works better for me. Well, for these iridescents, a darker colored pigment kind of brings it out better. And so that's why I went with a darker color translucent, because I think the translucent looks still kind of cool. Get a combination of both. All right, so that's that. So anyway, over on the side here, I am just taking some white alcohol ink and I'm stirring it into the little bit of resin here that I have left, because it's just how you do this sort of cloudy wispy technique. You want to have a little bit of the white alcohol ink in there, and we'll stir it up until it's got a kind of a milky, still kind of thick texture. And then I just threw some glitter in that dark translucent over there, because you know how I feel about glitter. So if you don't, you'll learn quickly. So the other molds just have clear resin in them for me to drop the alcohol inks in there. So I kind of want them to look sort of watery, which is why I'm going with blue, hence the alcohol. What is this? You stop there right now. Okay. The mermaid tails are going to go on top, kind of like they're diving back into water. Maybe it's in my mind. That's how I think it should go. So I just wanted to mostly have a blue look, and then I threw some metallics in there because they're pretty. All right, so then some alcohol ink colorants in these, my test earrings, because why not make them colorful and pretty, because I like when life is colorful and pretty. All right, so for this technique, we'll just go through and take the resin that we put the white alcohol ink in, and we're just going to drizzle it across the tops of these molds, because that's how you're supposed to do the technique. So you get your drizzles on, and then it pushes the color down like you typically do with alcohol ink, but it just gives it a different effect when you do it this way. I didn't create this, someone else did. I'll add the link to the tutorial that I use to follow this technique, but he says he didn't create it either. I think he mentions who created it. So here I actually dropped a little bit of white alcohol ink in this translucent with the glitter, because just to give it a different effect, just to kind of see how it would look. I'm always doing something wonky and weird and different, because this is the story of my life, so just gonna have to deal with it. And then I had a bunch of extra left, and so I decided, why not make 3 puzzle pieces, and they could be like a set, earrings and a necklace. So we'll see. Anywho, so I'm just gonna hit it with the heat gun, and I'm gonna come back in like 15 or 30 minutes to swirl around the alcohol ink pieces. Maybe I got it on camera, maybe I didn't. I forgot last time. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no, here it is. I caught it. Yay me. So in this, I just take he does like a pin or a needle. I just took a earring hook and straightened it out, and I just came in and drew swirls wherever I felt like it. You want to wait till a little later, because these swirls will stick better in the resin. If you do it while it's still loose, they'll just kind of fall out. All right, so time for the demolding. My favorite part. Really, they're all my favorite part. Okay, so this is the one with the silver, and that's pretty. I like how that turned out. Super wispy, colorful, flowiness. Okay, and then this is the one with the gold. Obviously, like you see that, I know, but Anywho, love how that turned out. The gold swirls, beautifulness. Okay, and here's for the dragon. Drum roll, please. I don't have a drum roll, sorry, but you can do it in your head. Anyway, all right, so the dragon's one of my favorite pieces. This might have been my favorite time using it. First time using it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Anyway, isn't the dragon super cool? I'm just saying, I've considered keeping it. I'm not gonna keep it, but I've considered it heavily. Super pretty, gorgeous piece. Okay, and then now it's time for the earrings. So, proposed earrings. Okay, so I did decide that I like them as earrings. Just spoiler. So those turned out pretty and glittery, just like I like. And really, these are like my favorite. I'm like, oh my god, they're amazing. So they're gonna be a thing. They're a little heavier than the other earrings because they're so much bigger. But it's so far it's not a problem for me, because I might have already worn them, because they're tester earrings. I had to test them, and I love them. So anyway, here'll be a last view of everything I made. Thanks for coming by. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe.